Okay, so welcome to our coaching chat Zoom, the very first one for 2025. And I just saw Sandy Leonard. We're so glad you're with us. For those of you who maybe don't know Sandy, Sandy is our upline. And we'll take a minute just to say how she is just one of the most lovely people, and I love her to death. And just grateful that we are in a lineage of Sandy Leonard. Am I saying that right? Is that right? And welcome. I see Shelley and Kathy join us as well. So welcome, you guys. So anyway, I was just kind of saying, and then we thought, well, we better record this, but it's been a tough last quarter of 2024. And, I don't know about you. My dad used to say, I feel like for me personally, the wind's kind of been taken out of my sails. Anybody else kind of having that feeling as well? All right. And so as I was kind of looking at 2025, I was thinking, okay, how do I get back to where I was, say in August? How do I get back to that? And when I think about that, I'm all about, and I'm going to put some people on, maybe put everyone on mute. Not that I want you to talk if you can, but I'm hearing some backlog. When I was thinking about what I wanted to talk about today, one is definitely we want to talk about the Reset 25. But prior to that, when I think about, I'm all about the preface RE, because that means, and someday I'm going to write a Bible study on how do I get a redo? And I feel like we all need redos. I need redos anyway. I feel like I need a redo. And as I was thinking about starting 2025, I feel like I need a redo. I need to restart. And I was thinking about all these RE words. And if you've got a pen and paper, write these down. So the first one I thought is I need restoration. I need to restore some things. And when I think about, I think there's been some damage that's been done to our customers and to our partners through this process. It's not intentional. No one ever did this intentionally. But when I think about my customers, what I want to do to restore things with my customers and with my partners is really check in with them. Get a good handle on, if you don't know how to go print your customer list out or don't have one prior to the conversion, reach out to Brenda or I or Linda, whoever your upline entity is, and get that list of those customers and check in with them. See how they're doing. How did they weather the transition? Do they have their account set up? I've been kind of going through and writing when I've talked to a customer, and not only our customers, but we have a lot of wholesale partners out there. They need to be treated like customers and checked on also. How are you doing? How did you weather it? Do you have your account set up? How can I help you? Is it the way you want it? Do you know how to get into your account? Really come alongside those customers and those partners and really help them and restore where they were and get everyone back to where they were before the conversion. The second thing when I think about restoration is I feel like my own mindset needs restored. Does anybody fall in that category? I have become, and I said to Brenda, if I complain, tell me to shut up. Just shut up. And here's where, and so I thought that's my goal for 2025. It's been rough. Is it all in order yet? No, it's not. But I've got to change my mindset and get away from the complaining. And you know what helped me with this thought process of changing my mindset was I was on the phone with a customer and she said, Elaine, she goes, how do I want to make sure I continue with my all vegetable capsules. And I'm like, oh gosh, can I even do that? I don't know how to tell her to do that. I know she can't do it. I've got to call in. Can I get it called in before her order ships out? And I just started apologizing. And I'm like, I don't know if I'll try to get it done before it ships out. I don't know if I can do it. And she goes, Elaine, and I said, what? And she goes, I can hear anxiety in your voice. I said, yes, I am very anxious right now. And she said, Elaine, I'm in the computer, world, IT world. She said, I've gone through these conversions many times. She goes, they're a mess. And they take about 2 years to fully get restored. I said, don't tell me that, Lisa, I can't do 2 years. And she goes, this is just a process. And if I have to go back to fruit and vegetable capsules for a while, it's okay. I get it. I understand it. And I just want you to know I'm okay with it because I understand. And then following that up, I ordered some new makeup and I knew I was on Shopify and my rep was having problems. And I thought, oh my gosh, I see her jumping through hoops like I feel like I've been doing. And then Saturday, I went to a workout class and I knew I was probably on Shopify. I couldn't get my account set up. I was jumping through hoops. And then I remembered, oh, I think on ours, if I hit lost password, and sure enough, it allowed me to set up my account. So I tell you those three stories from my customer, from my experience with getting some new makeup, and then also going to a Pilates class. We are not the only ones that are having some issues with this converting to an IT platform. So when I think about my mindset needing restored, this is just kind of where we are in our world in IT. And it gave me a lot more well, I don't know. I'm not a very patient person, but it gave me a better perspective. And so hopefully that gives you, if you're frustrated, hopefully that gives you a little perspective in that my restoration process this year is going to really be working on my restoring my own mindset. And then I think the third thing in restoration is my confidence, is I am in control of my own confidence. And I can restore my confidence or I can let my confidence lag whenever things don't go the way I think they should, or I'm having to work through an issue. And so I'm going to encourage us all. How do we restore that confidence? Being on this call today, kudos to y'all. And I know Shelly and Susan and a few of us in the Atlanta area, I'm sure Sandy's probably going. We're gonna go to an event with Travis and Dr. David Phillips, and I think resurrounding ourselves with others who are in our Juice Plus family helps that build that confidence back up into what we have at our fingertips with Juice Plus. And so, number one, let's focus on 2025 is just that restoration process. Where does that need to happen? And what do I need to do to help myself or my customers or my partners? The second R, if you'll write this down, is rejuvenation. Okay, so we can restore, but how do we rejuvenate and kind of just put that energy back into 2025 and really kind of have a liftoff? And I was kind of thinking through that process. I think the first thing that came to my mind is I got to rejuvenate my commitment to this business. And I'm kind of an all in or all out kind of girl. And when I get in that in between, which I feel like I've been living over the last quarter, it does not feel good. And so for me, I think I just had to almost have like a come to Jesus moment of I've got to rejuvenate my commitment to what I'm going to do in 2025 when it comes to my business. And when I think about how do I rejuvenate my commitment, I think first and foremost is I have to rejuvenate my DMO. And I think for the last quarter, I've just been in repair mode, fix mode. And yes, we'll probably still have to continue some of that. But here's what I'm going to challenge us all is let's do some time blocking in that I'm going to give myself, 1 day a week where I'm going to call in, continue to fix those problems, but I'm not going to let that drag out all week long. I'm going to give myself 1 day a week and I'm going to work on fixing any problems. but the rest of the time, I'm going to stick to my DMO. And if you're on here and you're like, I really don't know what my DMO looks like, you guys have heard me say this 1,000 times. Systems are a dime a dozen, but if you don't have a system, there is no way you're going to be successful in this business. So let me ask you a question. Do you have a good DMO? And I'm looking at Karen Farrell. She is the DMO queen and she works it. And I'm assuming you still, years ago, when you started, you submit to Brenda your DMO for the week, don't you, Karen? I assume you still do. Yeah. And Karen has been successful with that. And I know we all have different kind of DMOs, but we need to have one. And if you're struggling and you're like, you know what, I don't know that I have a DMO per se, let's either get with your upline and carve one out and let's really make 2025, let's get back to our DMOs and moving our businesses forward. Um, the other thing is rejuvenating our time blocking. The beautiful thing about Juice Plus is we can do this whenever we want, however we want. I'm looking at Shelly. I know Shelly's working and she balances being on these calls. I love that about her. But it's a matter of time blocking and really knowing, being on these calls, making sure we're connecting with our prospects, connecting with our partners, connecting with our customers, connecting with our canceled customers, getting them that having the new IT platform gives us a reason to call those people who've maybe canceled in the past and say, I know in the past you canceled because you got overstocked. Here you have access, turning this into a positive for those canceled customers and helping them get their accounts set up. So when I think about this redoing something, I want to and rejuvenate my vigor and my excitement and my jumping into my day every day with a rejuvenated DMO, a rejuvenated commitment, and a rejuvenated time blocking. And then the last RE is rebuilding. So how do we rebuild and grow? I don't know about you. I've lost some customers. I need to rebuild. I need to get those customers back. I've lost some partners. I need to get those partners back. I don't even know that some of the partners have consciously quit. They just haven't had their head in the game. So who do I need to rebuild, reach back out, reach is another RE, get them back on track, get their heads back in the game. And that's where I think the Reset 2025 is going to come into play for us. It is a game plan to get customers really rejuvenated, to get our partners who maybe have had their head in the game, get them reset and going again. And so let's all make a commitment to embrace this reset. And Brenda and I, we both are like, I don't know, I don't think people realize how much time we put into these project broadcasts. We probably spent, what did we spend, Brenda? All day Thursday and almost half a day on
Friday,
okay, we can hear you.
hours
How many
altogether.
hours? How many?
20.
20. Yeah, putting this together. So we kind of what corporate provided for us, and then we beefed it up and added it. So we have this, and here, so let me just show you, and we will this is available to all of us, where we'll get it put on boards, or you can just, as you receive it, let us know if you want to be part of the reset. And I hope I hear from everyone. If you're a partner, you're going to get what this initial invest or invite. And so what I would say is, as a partner, if you don't have Project Broadcast, if you have Project Broadcast, we'll send you the bundle code and boom, you'll have it. If you don't have Project Broadcast, you can turn around and send this out to all of your customers, all of your partners. Um,
And also it's all,
Actually, it'll go out to all of our partners. So everyone is going to get this. Everyone's downline on here is going to get it. But if they respond, then what Brenda and I are going to do is let you know this partner of yours responded, and you can either create your own Project Broadcast group. If you don't have Project Broadcast, there are two ways that you can plug your team or your customers into getting all of these. I think we have 35 posts that will go out. You can create a text group. So before I step into that, let me show you. So this is an invite that's going to go out to all my customers and our entire organization.
and it's also on Here's to Your Health. We're running it through there too.
Yes, that's what I was going to say. So you can do it either via text with your partners and customers, or you can do it via put them into our Here's to Your Health Facebook group. We're going to run it in both places. So here's an invite. It talks about the free product. It talks about what the reset is about. And then and so this is going to go out to our entire team. So your downline will receive this. So let's just say I get a message from I'm looking at Dale. Well, let me take this back. Dale, I'm going to send this to Linda. So if you're not, Brenda and I are doing it, and I know Linda will do it also. So reach out to your NMD to find out what of your partners responded with reset. I'm sorry, I'm probably a little confusing here. Does that make sense? So this won't go to y'all's customers, but it will go to your downline. If I get a message, say from one of Allison's partners that says reset, I'll say, hey, Allison, this partner of yours wants to be part of the reset. And this is going to my customers. So I'm going to say, you guys forward this on to your customers or put them in a text message or refer them to Here's to Your Health. They're going to get that information. I know that's a little bit muddy. Is everyone tracking with me? All right, Dale, you're on mute, so I can't hear what you're asking.
Oh, is there a way to develop a chat group so you can add someone or somebody can drop off without losing the stream? You know what I'm talking about?
I don't know, just when someone drops out of a chat group, it doesn't cancel the chat group.
So how can you do it so that you can add people and still keep all the messages?
Yeah, you can't. You would have to, if they come midstream, like these messages on Project Broadcast will start on Wednesday. So if respond and say, hey, I want to be part of your reset program. You'll start on Wednesday getting messages from me, and then you can forward that to your chat group, like if you fixed a text group, or you can just put them into Here's to Your Health and they'll get it in that Facebook group. But let's say you're 3 or 4 days in a chat group, then they're only going to get from the moment you added them to the text group, sorry. And or you could do a Voxer group with this information. You can do it however you want.
The other thing that we're doing differently is that we're going to do this for 10 days instead of the 25, right?
Yeah, yeah. But, people can carry this on. I think 10 days will give them enough to know what they're supposed to do. Now, let's just say you set up a text group for your customers or your partners who wanted to be a part of it, and y'all are in a text group. If you guys wanted to carry it out, and just have that community of people together, you could keep it running as long as you wanted. So this is an invite. It's going to go out to our entire team today. You can take this and turn around and send it to your customers via text, change it up, invite them to a text group if you want, or put them into Here's to Your Health Facebook group. Either way, they're going to get this information. So that's going out today. And then we're going to walk, let me see, let me go on down here or up to automation. If you have Project Broadcast, I can send you the bundle code, and that way you can just drop anybody who's interested in that group and they can automatically get it. This one will, however, start from the beginning. So anytime I add someone, that's when the messages start for them. And they will get all of them. So there are 32 messages. And you can see here, we'll start on Wednesday the 8th with the guidelines, preparations. Kudos to Brenda, man. She has all this from 10 years of doing the shred. We just altered it a bit to fit the RESET25 verbiage, but it's the same kind of stuff. There's questions and inviting your friends, your why, healthy swaps, welcome to day one. We tried to do like a
Informational, an informational post to begin with. And
yeah, informational post and a recipe, a little bit about Juice Plus and why that's important, some practices, complete shakes, reminding that the kitchen's closed, why we don't do caffeine. And on this one, I love that we introduce, didn't we introduce,
yes,
yeah, we introduced Luminate here as well. So, let's see, did I jump back up?
and it really touches all the elements of the shred. The eating clean, the not eating after 6,
Sugar,
sugar. Yes, exactly.
toxins, processed foods, exercise, alcohol, sleep. So,
These are brand new. A lot of great recipes.
so basically what we did is what we normally put in a Facebook group, we've got it coming via text. So people can have an option if they're not a Facebook person, they're more of a text person, you can do the text as well. And Jelaine, I'm looking at you and I know I owe you bundle codes. So maybe when I send you this bundle code, I can get some of the other ones to you as well. So, okay. So here's what I feel like this RESET25 gives us an opportunity to really reach out, get to our customers, get to our partners, and really pull them back into the fold, get them back on track. And when I think about just rebuilding, I think personally, myself doing the reset. Whenever we lead by example, we're always going to do better. So let me ask any questions about this whole process. So we're restoration, really getting out there, touching, talking, not just texting, but let's talk to our customers. Let's talk to our partners, get them, make sure they're restored. They're back to where they were. How do I rejuvenate them? Walking by example, and really doing a strong DMO, and also time blocking, using Sunday afternoons, Monday mornings to really let's get going again. I think we all have taken a beating getting through this IT, but let's start fresh this year and really start building and not fixing all this stuff. Let's put that on the back burner. Let's focus on that maybe a half a day a week, but really get back to our time blocking and our daily method of operation. And then utilizing the RESET25 to really give us a reason to reach back out, talk to our customers and to our partners. Okay, I'm shutting up. Any questions?
Okay, just a quick question. All those free products are just for brand new customers, right?
Well, no, because I wanted to go through the process myself, and I know Brenda did this too. We set up a new trio and I'm getting free products myself. So
Just a new order.
just a new order, just a new order.
Oh, okay. I'm looking at their email and I was like, okay, so new customers who purchase a 4-month subscription. Okay, so as long as it's a new order, gotcha.
It took mine.
Okay,
They said it didn't have to be, it wasn't an established order. It's as long as it's a new order, it can still be your customer. So I already.
Wow.
Yeah, so get yourself some new free complete Illuminate.
And you can set it up as a health study order too.
I don't.
I guess so. It didn't say you couldn't, so.
Yes,
Well,
you
know what?
can.
I take that back. When you go in, you got to go in through that link for that special offer, and it doesn't give you an option, so I don't think so.
No, you can. I just did
Can
it.
you? Okay, good.
And actually, if you look at the little blurb that pops up, like on the screen, it says family health studies included.
Wow.
So while we were on the phone just now, I have a customer who's getting back on family health study, and I put it in, and when it brings you to the cart, it shows the Luminate and the chocolate and the vanilla complete as free, and the child version. Yeah.
And you went in under Children's Health Study, and then it gave you an option later.
Yeah, I didn't even click on the link. I didn't
Yay,
click
good
on the
to
special
know.
link. Yeah.
Okay, good to know. Okay,
Yeah.
thank you, Shelley.
Yep.
All right, who else? Any other questions? All right, so no other questions. Okay, I feel like I was kind of not being real clear when I was walking through. Okay, let's hear from you guys. Who are you guys going to move toward putting your customers on Here's to Your Health, or are you going to use Project Broadcast to get the message out, or are you just going to turn around and once you get the message from me, you're going to turn around and create a text group for your customers? What are you guys thinking? Is everyone going to do this?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So what do you
We
guys
could
think?
send a text group, a group to our business pages too on Facebook, correct?
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
that's what I think I'm gonna do.
I mean, you could just, I guess you could forward it go into Here's to Your Health and forward to your business. Yeah. Facebook group. Yeah. That's a good way. And then is your customers in that group, Karen? Okay, good. Anyone else? What are you thinking as far as who do I need to send a bundle code to? I know Susan and Jelaine.
Aaron's got her hand
Karen,
up.
do you have Project Broadcast? No.
Aaron.
Oh, Aaron, Susan, Jelaine.
How much is Project Broadcast?
Well, it depends on how many people you send it out to. I have quite a few.
18 a
Mine's
month.
15. Okay.
Oh, that's all?
Yeah, well, as you build a bigger audience, it goes up. But I think the base is 15. Isn't that right, Susan?
I think mine's 18.
18. All right. Who else? How are you going to do this?
Well,
Go ahead.
go ahead, Alison.
I think I'm just going to, for right now, so I don't have to figure out Project Broadcast in 2 days, is maybe just whoever is interested, create a group text group.
And I think that works totally fine.
And I was going to add, and I know Allison and Elaine, we've talked about this. We're talking about doing a Zoom call for prospective customers in the next week or so. And I think it could be a team extreme. Maybe if we invite potential people, and that would be great. I mean, do the whole inspiring healthy living type thing in a 30-minute call. And then, maybe at the end, telling them not only that, but there's a special for, 2025 right now.
Mhm.
Well, and we're starting this on the 13th versus today. I just felt like I needed time to reach out to my customers, and so we're probably starting a week behind everyone. I don't know, maybe we can get that put together this week. You know what I mean? Do a Zoom one day this week. So
Hmm.
be on the lookout for that. And see if we can't get that done. That way we can plug people into it.
Sandy,
Every-
Sandy wants to-
Sandy.
Yes, Mimi Blankenship and Sharon did a video, it's 20 minutes, talking about the reset and, the research. Sharon did the research, so if y'all want to use that Zoom, I
Absolutely.
mean,
I would like to.
it's a video, I'll be glad to send it to
That
you.
would be awesome. Thank you, Sandy. We'd love
Yeah.
that.
And how many people can you put in a text group?
I don't know. Does anyone know the answer to that? Oh, one thing I was gonna say, I'm sorry. I'm jumping back. I had a thought. If I don't say it, I'll forget. Susan and Allison, you guys ought to share a you guys ought to share Project Broadcast, split the cost between you, because you're in the same downline.
Oh, I
But we
like,
have different
yeah.
customers.
Well, you can add all your customers in there together.
Oh,
That's a good idea.
And that way you're only paying $9 a year for it.
yeah, but when it says mine say from Susan, is it gonna?
Yeah, but just copy it and do two different messages. And one will say Allison, one will say Susan. It just dawned on me. I'm like, why not?
Well, you're right, because I take yours that you and Brenda do, and I delete your name and put my name in.
Yeah, I mean, Susan would have to know how to do that, but that sounds good to me.
Yeah,
I'd rather be 9 than 18.
Yeah. Yeah. So, okay, so back to Sandy's point, how many people can we put in a text message?
I think that, well, all I know is when I get over, it seems like over like 10 people, I have to go to group me.
Yeah, I think
I
it
just
is. Yeah.
Googled it. I'm going to read what Google says. Google says it depends on the service you're using. And it says a group chat, the number of people you can add is limited, such as 20 contacts in Google or 256 contacts in WhatsApp or 32 in iMessage. So I guess
Okay.
it just depends.
Well, even if you could always do several different group chat
Right.
text.
That's what I would do.
Yeah, that's true. Just have,
Mm-hmm.
if you got 30, just do 3 groups of 10.
Yeah, iOS is 25 people and Android is 20. So
I-
maybe 20 at a time.
Okay. Jeff, do you know? I think that's your hand up,
Yeah,
isn't it?
I'm up. You can, the group text is fine for a lot of people. I don't like them because you get too many ding, ding, dings back and forth. But on the project broadcast you were talking about with Susan and Allison, they could set up Allison's group as far as who she wants to text, and then Susan can set up her group as far as who she wants to text. So you can have different groups that you reach out to and
Yeah.
send them the same stuff. So Project Broadcast has really been helpful for me, not so much for the Juice Plus business, but for my jewelry business. And I'm really trying to incorporate it into the Juice Plus business. So
I forgot you had Project Broadcast, so I'll send you the bundle code so it'll automatically flow right into your Project Broadcast.
Perfect. Great.
That's
Thank you.
awesome, Jeff. Thank you.
Yes, ma'am.
All right. Any other thoughts on just kicking off this year when it comes to just rebuilding and growing? As we're talking about this, Brenda and I were talking about, now that we've got this done, we can easily redo this. Once it's built, then it's easy to go from there. So we'll probably use this several times throughout the year. And just easy now. But what's some other things as you feel like you think about rebuilding and growing, what comes to mind of things you want to personally do to rebuild not only your customer base, but also your partner base in 2025? Any thoughts coming to mind? One thing I got to do a shout out to Trina Patrick. You're phenomenal when it comes to every time I talk to Brenda's like, no, me and Trina's got to do this. So I want to hear maybe a couple words from you on how you're always meeting new people.
You're muted, Trina. Click on, yeah.
I've caught her off guard, but I know you do a really good job of that.
I don't know. I guess just, well, everybody comments about my hair and then we go from there. A lame excuse, but that Brenda can verify that does happen all the time.
So
I
how
did-
do you turn in from meeting somebody into, it seems like you guys do a lot of events from people you've met.
Well,
Yeah, it's always top of mind with you. I mean, it really is. Juice Plus is always top of mind when and the people that you interact with.
I guess it goes back to my health scare, with COVID. And of course, now here it is, we're back into the winter months with everybody sick. So that just always comes out,
Your story, passionate about your story.
It just goes back to that usually.
And you weave it into every conversation you have. They do.
Yeah. Even when we're sitting in the middle of a restaurant and we just start talking to the people next to us. So, it always just comes up.
Top of mind.
Yeah.
All right, thank you. But you built your business by a lot of events, and so I love hearing that. I'm also I know Karen has built her her business by doing your pop-up. Tell us a little bit about that.
The pop-up shop is something that our neighborhood does. It's vendor neighbors for vendor residents or for residents that live in the neighborhood. And we do it once a year. And, I'm constantly following up with people from that, all year long. Maybe it wasn't the right time, but I'll still follow up with them. But I have to
Let me
say,
go back. It's only once a year. It seemed like you do more than that.
well, right now we've been doing a lot with Wendy and Susan, her partner, and we've been doing just these events at various places. That one was a church, one was at a fancy kitchen design studio, several other places, and they just invite people, and and they get customers. It's just crazy. They're just going gangbusters. So I run the event for them, and they just get the customers.
And tell about you've got all kind. I mean, you're rocking right now with your doctors that have come on.
Yeah.
And you're flying.
So let's
Well,
talk
and I met
about where
him.
the doctors came from.
Well, the one came from the pop-up shop, actually. They wanted to be a vendor, and I told them that we were full, and I asked them what they did, and I said, "Oh, we need to talk." And so they said, "Great," and I had them come over and followed up with them, and they signed up right on the spot. And he's been sharing, and he's been getting a lot, not a lot, but if everyone he shares with, he gets the customer. So he's the one that made P plus recently. And then I have another one that I met on Alignable, the networking company, and this one is a men's clinic that he's opening in March. He's signed his lease, and he said he wants to become a partner in March. So then I've got a couple of nurse practitioners.
So let me go back to the Alignable. How did
Mhm.
you tell me how that works? Someone else is on here that does Alignable. Who else? I can't think of who it was, but tell us how Alignable works and how that worked into this partner.
Yeah. So you go in and to Alignable and you create a profile for yourself. And the better you make your profile, the more contacts you're going to have. If it's a naked profile, you're not going to get people interested. But so I shared my story. I shared Juice Plus, what it is, and new products and that type of thing. And then you suggest who you want to get in contact with. And so you put that down. I put medical practices, whatnot. And people will search my profile and say, hey, I'd like to add you to my network. And then you start a conversation with them. And so from there, I always say, I'd love to hear about your business. And they come back and they say, I do this, that, and the other. And then I generally come back with, if it's a medical professional, just saying that I think our two businesses align and that we should probably meet on a Zoom to see how we can help each other. And that's just kind of where it goes.
Nice. All right, good. So we've got just top of mind, being out and about. I'm gonna start with Trina. Top of mind, being out and about, sharing your story. Events. Alignable. What else? Jeff, is your hand still up or you got something new to share with us? All right, I'm not hearing from him. Okay, who else? Let's get some ideas rolling. Thinking about 2025, what ideas? We got some good ones so
I-
far.
I'm thinking of a Zoom with
Okay.
with young girls.
All
Um,
right.
just with my new daughter-in-law, and then I was just thinking that would be, anyway, I'm just writing down some notes about that. I'm thinking about her, but also a team member that's young that might help her team, and um pulling Sydney in.
You did an event. What was it? We came down there in October, and you got some really good things from that event at your house, with young group of girls. So, I think going back, we got to get back to doing our events, going to events, taking people to events, doing Zoom events. Events are, it's where people get exposed.
I-
Jolene, did
Um,
someone?
I would say networking groups. I do a networking group that's on Zoom, and there's a networking group that's in person. So, I meet a lot of people there. And with some of the networking groups, you get put into their network and you get put on their roster. And so being put on their roster, everybody who's associated with that particular, foundation or whatever it is, no matter where they are, if they're in that, then they get to see you and get to look you up and, whatever. And so then you get to do one-to-ones and, we have kudo partners and we get kudos for doing that. And we get, prizes for making the most meetings together and just different things. So there's a lot of things in that we can do. And then we ask at those networking what we're looking for and see if we each can't do referrals for one another.
Okay. So we got networking.
I have a question.
Yes.
We don't have the wellness professional program anymore, right?
Not formally, but I mean, you can still, who was I talking to?
Well, Karen's very knowledgeable with that, with setting up with doctors and professionals.
Right. So if you're working with doctors right now and they're really busy, and are you still able to have them collect names or set up a display, or are you responsible for contacting the patients? Do we still have the HIPAA information in place, or how does that all work now?
The doctors now it's generally their front office person that sends out the emails and the carts and whatnot. And I just went in and trained them.
Okay, and if they say they're too busy, because right now insurance is crazy and all their staff is just keeping up with insurance claims and getting people signed up.
Yeah, well, it takes really 2 seconds to share a cart. It's not difficult. It's an email, make the cart, email it. Here's what the doctor recommends, and you're done.
Mhm.
And if the doctor recommends it, they do it.
And what my doctor's been doing is he was discouraged at first because they didn't sign up right away. So he said, how can I get them to do it right there? I said, then just have Nikki, his office girl, send them a cart, have them fill the cart out right there. And we've been giving them 6 days, of one capsule of each one to go ahead and get started right away. And they seem to like that, and that's going well.
And that little Juice Plus, the little boxes that you can buy with Juice Plus, I did that for years when we met people at events. And if you give them, here's where you're getting started. It's a lot of nutrition. You're going to take one of each a day. By the time this is through, yours will be here. You'll start taking two. It just works.
So are you buying these medicine containers, and then you're filling them up yourself with your own stock and giving them, say, a week's worth or 6 days worth? So who's paying for all of these samples?
You are. Business expense. And I put one of each of all four of the products in each one for 6 days.
Get a customer. It's worth giving up a little bit of your profit to get a customer.
So Karen, who is the doctor under you, or how do you benefit? Who's under who when you do that?
I'm direct to her.
So you sign up the doctor, and then is the front desk person are they signed up too? How are they? Is that just part of their salary job?
I mean, you can, I don't know, she looks like she maybe is frozen.
Okay, I heard something. Are you talking to me?
Yeah. So
Okay,
when you do the thing with the doctor, is the doctor a partner under you?
Yes.
So the doctor's obviously getting the sales profit, and then you're benefiting. And then the front office person, do they get a cut, or is that just part of their salary job?
It's just their job. Yeah.
I have set it up where that person is under the doctor and they're almost getting double paid. They're working Juice Plus, sometimes the doctor will take two, and then that front office person will take one, and they're building a business right along with the doctor. So you can set it up any way you want.
When Dr. Tran, the rheumatologist first started, we trained the girl in the front office, and what she would do is she'd say, this is what I'm recommending you to take. And she'd have that girl come in right into the doc. As soon as she left the room, the other woman would come in, sign them up. But she was also a partner too, just like Tran said. And she would, I think for every 4 customers, she got one herself. So you can do it all different ways. And Tran added over 100 patients in her first year.
Wow.
The doctor tells you to do it, you do it,
Yeah, and my dentist is starting to share it too with his patients. And so when he gets someone, he gives me a name. And then if I share a cart, then I do it on my phone and I share a cart on his behalf.
All right, good questions. All right, we're almost out of time. Any other questions? Jelaine, is your hand just still up, or you have a question?
No, I have a suggestion.
Okay.
So with that thing with the doctor's office, okay, all of you who have Project Broadcast, in the Project Broadcast, you can set up a QR code, and that QR code can have each of your individual carts. And then you can either have a flyer sitting at the desk, or they can have sheets, and the doctor can hand them the flyer, and they can just scan the QR code and drop in their order. So you can have those carts already made with a QR code to your Project Broadcast, or you can just have a flyer set up at the doctor's office with the trio or whatever, the quad, and then you can put, are you interested? And then they can scan that, and then automatically your Project Broadcast can send them based on the QR code that you set up for them to get. So you can set up all of that you can take away from that time that you're taking from the front desk, and have them just either, the doctor can share that code with them, give it to them, hand it to them as a prescription. Like on a prescription, you make up the prescription with the QR code. Doctor can say, here's your prescription, scan this QR code, get this, and then you're done. You can eliminate that by using your Project Broadcast. So just a suggestion.
Good suggestion, Jelaine. Love that.
Yep.
Love that.
The other thing I think we really need to highlight is that Juice Plus has never made a deal like this before, given us a special like this before. And I mean, when you're getting $129, that says everything for free and getting to try all the products. I mean, I think I'm really thrilled that they're doing this now because I think it's really going to capture a lot of people that, everybody in January, the whole focus is, we just came off sugar season from Halloween all the way through Christmas. And everybody's realizing that January is when we get healthy. And this is an unbelievable deal.
Yeah, absolutely.
Especially since now we know they can be on the health study too. That's incredible.
Yeah. Susan.
Yeah. Brenda, Sandy, and Elaine, do y'all know? I mean, it's just so weird to me that Juice Plus is doing these deals because they never did for all those years. Is this something? I mean, might not be as good as this one. Are we going to see throughout the year other specials and stuff?
I think so. I would guess. I hope.
What do you think?
I think every time they do that, whatever deal they do, I think it should tie into another reset or whatever, shred or whatever they want to call it. I think, that just, when you got a program to come with a product you're buying and freebies to go along with it, that's a nice little package right there that really gets people's attention. So I think we all need to make sure we're taking advantage of it.
And then the other thing, Elaine, I know you and me and Allison want to do this Zoom. Would y'all be interested as our team if maybe once a month we do a Zoom event and we rotate who does just the Inspiring Healthy Living, basically going through that deck? Because I think when Allison said she's got a young partner in Birmingham, I've got so many young moms at our church that I haven't tapped into, and it's hard during the day. They can't come because of kids. At night, they're tired. But if I said, hey, Eastern time, get on at 8 o'clock or 8:30 and listen to a 30-minute Zoom, I'm thinking if we have everybody in the team and they invite people, and I just think once a month, maybe we rotate who does it, that could just be a constant way to totally get new people.
Great.
And I agree, Susan. We used to do that until this year, and we partnered with some other NMDs. And as much as it was nice because then we took turns, I feel like I want to go back to exactly what you're saying, Susan, and keep it within our team. And just like you said, I do know Allison has a lot of young moms. Maybe Allison does the young mom Zoom and you tap into your church and we almost like divvy it out for our team. I think if it's our team, we're going to take ownership, we're going to be more involved. So I will commit to that, is making sure we get back to once a month as a team and we rotate. And we've got, I'm looking at so many of you guys on here can do a fabulous job running a Zoom. And so that way, we're vested. So yes, to your point, Susan, we will do that. Any other thoughts before we got a couple more minutes before it's 1? Any other thoughts or comments running into 2025? Who wants to, with me, restore, rejuvenate, and rebuild in 2025? I'm committed. I'm committing to y'all that I want to jump back in, get going again like we were. And it's okay. If you, like me, beat yourself up a little bit over the last quarter, that's okay. I think we all kind of went through a season, but I'm ready to shake it off. I remember when my kids were little and they'd fall, we'd say, shake it off, shake it off. So I'm going to shake off fourth quarter of 2024 and let's jump in and head for a great 2025. And I just want you guys to know, and I know I'm speaking for Brenda and Sandy and all of us, that how much we appreciate you guys and this team, your commitment. And I just look forward to what's in store, and let's lock arms and do this in 2025. So thank you guys so much for being here today. I love y'all and appreciate each and every one of you.
I'm glad we're back. Happy New Year, everybody.
Thank you. Happy New Year. Let's do this.
Yes.
Happy New Year. Thank you, everybody.
Bye.